Well, I am back. I have scrapped the idea of the previous pulley and I decided, since I'm learning a bit how to work in this software, I am going to use bearings in the new pulley. So, let me get started again. I know the bearing inner diameter is 6 millimeters. The outer diameter is 17 millimeters, but I'm not going to be worried about the bearing as for now. The only thing that will bother me now is to accommodate the shaft that will pass through the hub of this pulley. So I have to, if that is 6 millimeters, then that's 3 millimeters on the side. I'm going to give it a millimeter clearance, so I'll start at 4 millimeters. I have to draw a line. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this thickness is going to be 16 millimeters. So I have to go 8 millimeters on each side. I can type in 8 and then the thickness of this is going to be 23 or 24. That is 12 on the side. And that should be from the center line minus 4, that's 8 up. So I'm going to go 8 up. On this side as well, 8. I connect the two. I have to draw from the center a construction line of 25 millimeters. Because my pulley is 15 millimeters diameter where the rope is running. So again, the rope is 6 millimeters, so I can go 1, 2, 3 up, make a 6 millimeter diameter circle. And that is exactly where my rope will run at diameter of 15 millimeters. Now, circle again, going to go 3 millimeters down, then I'm going to go draw this line 6 millimeters, and that way also 6 millimeters. Let me type 6 in there, and then let me just guess it with the eye. From there, I'm drawing a line down. That's 10 millimeters, so I'm going up on this side also 10. Then I go to polyline, click on the circle and connect. Click on the circle and no. And connect. That line is in the wrong position. Let me delete it. Delete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. This line must be here. Now I can round it. That looks to be more or less okay, 0.8 radius, and the same here. Now I can get rid of that part of the circle. So my line of the crossbow line is going to run in this part of the wheel. Now I've also decided not to use, not to draw the spokes in later. I'm going to make them part of the original. So that means I make the spoke 6 millimeters thick. That is 3 millimeters on each side. Now I can get rid of these lines. I can even remove that construction line. I don't need it anymore. Now I need to round. I go to the rounding tool. I can round this 2 millimeters. Yes, round that one also 2 millimeters. Down here I can go actually 3 millimeters. 3 millimeters. Now that should be my pulley. I can go to 3D mode. Make this thing a bit smaller. And select the whole thing. Now I can say pull around the axis, and I'm pulling it around the horizontal axis. And I don't know if you can see this, but when you click on the axis, a small pop-up comes, and then you can click on full pull. Now that then creates the pulley. So there is the new pulley. Now, since I now know that the shaft of the bearings will be able to pass through this hole without a problem, because the shaft is 6 millimeter diameter and this hole is 7. I now have to cater for the bearings. So I can select this surface and go to the grid and get it perfectly flat. I know the bearing is 17 millimeters outside diameter and 6 millimeters thick. So let me draw a circle and I make it 17 millimeters diameter. Now I can go to 3D mode. I can select that surface and spin it a little. Then I can say pull, cut, and I want that thickness of the bearing is 6 millimeters, so I'm going to cut it in 6 millimeters. So now I have catered for one of the bearings. I can also remove this surface. It's no longer required. Now I spin it around and I select this surface and go to the grid again and line it up, make it flat. I make another circle, again 17 millimeters diameter. I go back to 3D mode, I select that new surface, spin it a little, pull again, cut, and 6 millimeters again. I can get rid of that surface there. So there I have my pulley with, with the place where the two bearings will fit in. A much better pulley than the old. Now, I was thinking maybe because I can save a bit of filament, if I don't need this thing to be so totally solid, I can select this surface and go to the grid again, and then why I can make a few circles here. This little circle that I've drawn. Now I can go back to 3D mode. I can select that circle. I can say move. I want it to move around this axis. I can now say create a pattern and slowly move it until I have a bit of a pattern. Then the only thing I still have to say is I need how many. I'm going to pick 10, not 8, 10. So yes, there I have 10. Now the only thing that remains is to select them. Click, hold down Control, click, 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 click. I have selected all of them. Let me spin it a little. Now pull, cut, and just pull it all the way through. And now I have a few holes there. That will save me a bit of filament. And it will probably print faster. So yeah, I think I'll go with this pulley. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've learned something like I've learned a bit.